Hi YouTube and welcome to Maria's Kitchen. For today, we have a little helper today. Speed nosy, you want to see what Mama's doing. Now for today, we're going to have a recipe called octopus salad. In Spanish, it's pulpo salad. And I have some friends that have been asking me how to make them. Stick your tongue in. How to make it. So I want to show you a video on how to make it. Your first step is cleaning the octopus. Here I have an octopus that is 2 pounds. And I already checked it. This one comes, already cleaned. Doesn't have the eyes or anything like that. It has a hole, see where their eyes are, and it's already missing the mouth. So you have to clean this. So we're gonna clean it in cold water, and you're gonna rinse it, like rinse all the tentacles really good. You want to make sure it's completely clean. You want to wipe off whatever sliminess it might have, which this didn't really have much, but still, you want to rinse it. Give it a nice, good, clean rinse. Just run it under the water. You see? Okay. So once you have that rinsed, the next thing you're going to do, I have a pot with water, which is already beginning to boil, and I'm going to add bay leaves. These are bay leaves. I'm going to add, the bay leaves are not that big, so I'm going to add 4 of them so that the octopus can boil with that. Now your octopus, the head comes like this, right? But you want to turn it inside out, okay? Because it's easier for you to dump it in. And when you dump it in, you want to like dip it 3 times. The reason why is that if you dump it in just completely like that, then you risk the whole octopus turning completely into rubber. And like this, when you do it this way, you are slowly having the octopus take the temperature of the hot water, because the octopus is still cold. So you see the tentacles already curling. Okay, going a little bit deeper. See, now it's completely curled until you finally drop it. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna put a cover over it, and I'm gonna leave it boiling. This is 2 pounds, so I'm gonna try for 1 hour and see it. If I still see that it's still hard, then I'm gonna have to leave it a little longer, and then I'll let you know how long I left it. So while your octopus is boiling, we're gonna talk about the ingredients that we're going to use. I'm gonna use 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. Olive oil, I'm gonna use 1/3 cup. The salt is optional, because first the salt will be the last thing that we're going to add. I'm going to take Spanish olives, and I'm going to cut them in half. These are not sliced, but if you have the one that is sliced already, then use about half the jar. This is a 3 3/4 of an ounce. So if you have the small jar, then use the small jar. I'm going to use half of the juice of a fresh lime. Here I have some parsley that's already cut, because this is what I have left of parsley. So this is less than 1/3 cup. This is about I would say like 2 tablespoons and a half. I have four garlic cloves, which I'm going to chop. I have 1 green onion. You can either use half the onion or a quarter of the onion. A quarter of the pepper. I'm gonna use a quarter. And for the red pepper, I'm gonna use a quarter as well. I'm gonna use 1 red onion chopped as well. And then for your tomatoes, you can either add 2 tomatoes, see, or you can add 1. I'm gonna add 1.5 because these tomatoes are not that big. Okay, and you're also gonna need some pepper. This is for, that's gonna be last. And also you're gonna use some fresh oregano. Now this is a bunch here. I'm not going to use this whole bunch. I'm going to use about half of this bunch, because you see this bunch, it's not that big, it's small, so I'm going to use half. So while that's boiling, you're going to slice your olives, chop your parsley, chop your cilantro, chop your red onions, dice your tomatoes, dice your red peppers and your green peppers, and mince your garlic. Now, all of this you're going to do, but remember, you have to wash all of your vegetables first. So get ready and do that, and then we'll come back when when we're about to cut the octopus. Okay guys, so my pulpo has been cooking for 1 hour, and it's time to check it. So we're gonna check it now. I'm gonna take it out for a minute. I have a baking sheet here, or you could have a plate. Just gonna take it out. You're gonna see how small it gets. See how small it is? Okay. Just gonna take it with a fork. You're not looking for a rubbery consistency, but you're looking that the fork goes into it easily. And yes, it's done. So let me show you. This is what the pulpo looks like. Leave it here for a few minutes to cool down. I'm gonna leave it for 10 minutes to cool down. Then we're gonna cut. So it's been 10 minutes, and when you touch it, you'll see that the skin begins to peel off. If this doesn't bother you, you can leave it like that, but it bothers me. So I'm doing it with a little warm water because, yeah, I'm just gonna rinse it over here so that any loose skin can come right off. Now, this is something you don't have to do. Not necessary, but for me, I want to do it because it bothers me. Okay, so there you go. You see all the loose skin come off. At least now you're left with this. So right here, I'm gonna take a knife just to show you the sizes that you're going to cut it. So you see the tentacle? You're gonna cut him about this size. Okay. Okay guys, so I cut up my pulpo, this is how much it made right here. And as you can see, it's not a lot. This is what 2 pounds makes. The package looks pretty big, but it's not, because when you boil it, it tends to shrink. So it's the same thing like shrimp. When you cook shrimp, it shrinks. So this is how much it makes. So these pieces right here, I'm gonna see if I could show you, but if not, okay, these pieces are hard. Okay, this is the pieces that was around the mouth. So I'm getting rid of them because it's just too hard. They don't look edible, Okay, so here, instead of using the whole pepper and the whole green pepper and the whole red pepper, I ended up using just half. Okay, just use half. So I have the salad here, and we're ready to put in the ingredients. So add your pulpo, your octopus. Next here, I have a 1/3 cup of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Then I have 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. Then I'm going to squeeze the juice of half of a lime. So you see that it has more vegetables, more of the salad than of the actual seafood. So if you want, you can add less of the peppers and stuff, Or you could just leave it like that if you don't mind. Me, I don't mind. I'm gonna leave it like that. So what I didn't get to tell you earlier is that I'm also gonna use 1 tablespoon of oregano. Now I don't have fresh oregano, so I'm just gonna use dry oregano. Sprinkle that on top. So now, if you decide that you want to use more of the octopus, what you can do is get a bigger octopus, but you can still use the same amount of ingredients that I've used here, because see, this could use some more octopus, but I'm gonna leave it like this because I'm gonna serve this with something else, so this will be fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of pepper. Okay, now I'm gonna mix the salt. I'm gonna hold off on the salt only because just in case the octopus is salty. So I'm gonna mix all this together and make sure I get all the ingredients well mixed. Okay, just grab a fork real quick to taste it. Make sure I grab a piece. Oops, wait a minute. Tastes good, but it's a little on the bland side, so now I'm gonna add salt. Now remember, when you add the olives, drain the liquid from the can of from the jar of olives. Do not put the liquid in here. The liquid of the olives in here. Okay. This is a nice, fresh salad, and it's light. You can eat them like this. Some people eat them with crackers. Put them on top of crackers and eat them like that. Just people eat them on the side with something. Some people just eat them like this with nothing else. When you wash the fork, you're gonna add salt and keep tasting. So you want to make sure that you get the flavor that you want. And yeah, this is the flavor that I'm looking for. So I'm going to leave it here. This is how I would make my octopus salad. Now, there's some people that don't put the olives. I more or less did it the way I remember my mom doing it as I grew up, and I added some of my own to mix it together. So I like this flavor combo. Okay, so thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and you already know the rest. You gotta stay tuned for more videos.